Hello everyone, we are here with Dan Greenawalt from Turn 10, and he's the man behind Forza Motorsport 6 and Forza Motorsport 5, 4 and 3 and so forth and so on. So Dan, hello. So what do you think of the reaction at the showcase?
You know, it was great to see the fans' reaction all up. Forza honestly does really well in Europe in general. I think European fans love motorsport, they love racing, and so Forza does great. And it was great to see people's reaction to, the numbers, obviously, 450 cars, 26 tracks, night and wet, but also the documentary, the Vidoc, where we had a professional race car driver talking about how we place puddles and what it's like to race on the Nürburgring with puddles all over the place. It's a cool experience, and I think we were able to, really explain that to the people in the crowd.
So, one thing that surprised me a lot, is that you managed to do wet effects and rain and night driving with 60 frames per second and 180p. How did you do it? Is it the effect of DirectX 12 or just optimization?
Honestly, it is optimization. Forza Motorsport 5, as well as Forza Horizon 2 and Forza Motorsport 6 are all underpinned by our bespoke physics or graphics engine, Forza Tech. And that graphics engine is being worked on by two world-class teams, the Turn 10 team and the Playground team. But also, we're first party, so we work with the Coalition, we work with 343. We're able to learn how to really optimize for the box. So yeah, I think it surprised a lot of people that Forza Motorsport 6 was able to come out with 1080p, 60 frames per second, 24 cars on track, with night, with wet, but it drives great. At the end of the day, that's what all this technology is for. It's for the experience. It's to get people passionate and excited about cars and games. And if it does that, it's all worth it.
One thing we know you're very passionate about is tires and suspensions. So what can you expect from the technical simulation point of view from Forza Motorsport 6?
One of the things I love about simulation in general is that you're never done. You're always working. There's always more things to study. And some of that is, of course, tires, because the tire companies are never done doing R&D. They're researching and developing new ways of doing things. So that gives us more things to simulate. But also, there's just corners and areas of physics that are cool for research. Now, rain was one. We did a lot of research on rain. Cooling tires, and so what it's like to drive at night was the tarmac cools down. But also these classic cars. We have so many cars in the game, and some of them are really old, like pre-war cars where there's wood in the car and it torques and there's torsion inside of the body. Really getting that simulation right is very hard, and it was something we spent a lot of time researching on Forza Motorsport 6. So when you drive a classic car in the rain or in the wet, or in the night, it really feels right.
You talked about the Nürburgring. It's my favorite racetrack ever. Well, I guess it's almost everyone's favorite racetrack ever. So how precise it is in the game?
So for Forza Motorsport 5, we recreated and recaptured the Nürburgring. We actually went back and made sure that it was laser scanned and completely accurate. We released that then to our fans in Forza Motorsport 5 for free. Well, with Forza Motorsport 6, we then went and looked at where the puddles are placed, archival footage, talked to race car drivers. We went to the track and looked at where the rain puddles are to create it very accurately. But also, our goal with this Nürburgring for this generation was to create the most accurate representation the Nürburgring ever created. And that meant really doing the homework, like laser scanning it, with the new types of technology. Laser scanning's been around for a while, but the way that we worked on laser scanning for 5 was some new tech.
So we have the Nürburgring, we have night. So will we be able to recreate the 24 hours of Nürburgring in the game?
The way we created night and the way we created rain was to replicate the experiences based on the physics we researched. So this is not a dynamic change from this to that. This is meant to be a very accurate representation of what the temperatures are at night and what the rain, where the puddles are, and what the friction is like. So rather than just reducing friction with a scalar or automatically, we wanted it to be just right.
But despite the lack of dynamic change of night and day, if we want to race for 24 hours straight in the same race, can we, or there is a shorter limit? Are there endurance races?
There are absolutely endurance races. The endurance races are made to be the way that driver double stints are. So in real 24-hour racing, drivers do stints. Stints are sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 4 hours, so they do a double stint. So yes, we have 4-hour stints that you can do. There is endurance racing in the career. You can do it in multiplayer, and you can do it in free play.
One thing that really impressed me is how cars seem to behave when they plane over a paddle. So is that a completely new technology? Is that something you created completely anew, or is something that you learned from Forza Horizon 2 that already had rain?
This is a totally new technology. We had to go do the research to learn. Everybody knows how aquaplaning generally works, but that's not good enough for the simulation. We have to know exactly how it works and why. Because you've got tires that are different treads and different widths, cars coming at different speeds, they have different weights. And when you start braking, it slows the tire's rotation down. How does that affect it? So we have to research all of that to get it just right. And that's more along the lines of what motorsport's all about. Precision, accuracy. Horizon's about exploration, fun, meeting new people in a social environment. So the research that we do for one game is different than the research we do for another.
That's interesting, actually. The fact that you are paired with players pretty much with your same attitude. Forza Motorsport 5 already had something like that, but it didn't always work, according to me at least.
Yeah.
How much do you think it has been improved in Forza Motorsport 6? And is it something you did mostly on your side, or something that has been done on the Xbox Live side, on the cloud side?
Yeah. So Forza Motorsport 5 used the Xbox Live version of matchmaking, right? And that did pair people together fairly well. When you start really wanting to get people of really accurate skill and professionalism, we had to make our own system because racing is just different. It's not going to apply the same way as it will to other games. So we worked with Microsoft Research, and they actually were helping us come up with how to pair people based on professionalism. We put people into these divisions based on their speed and their professionalism, and then we open up the league for certain time periods. Let's say Friday local time at 9 p.m. for 4 hours. And by bringing the people together who are similar skill, you can load people up into bigger groups of the same, I'm not sure how to say that, you were able to really load up that lobby and have a great, more competitive race. Now, at the same time, the way this whole system is meant to work is that players get invested. They get better, right? So they can move up into another division as they get more skilled. If they learn how to drive more cleanly, though honestly, I don't think driving clean versus dirty is good versus bad. So long as you're putting drivers who want to be rough with other drivers who want to be rough, there's nothing wrong with it. I watch DTM. DTM racing's pretty rough.
It's very rough.
And that doesn't make it bad, it makes it fun. The problem is if a really clean racer wants to be in with a rough racer, or a rough racer really wants to mix it up with people. Exactly. So the league system brings those people together and is a proprietary system that we developed.
Is there any way to actually select it manually? If you want to, say, I'm a skilled racer, I'm a clean racer normally, but I want to go for this one, I want to go and have a rough race and a DTM race. Can I select it manually?
You cannot. The league system is actually a firm ranked system. So this is competitive multiplayer.
Okay.
When you are if you say, yeah, I'm a really clean racer, we'll be the judge of that based on how you race with other people. So some people say they're very clean, but they still hit a little bit more.
They can't overtake.
Yeah, so the goal of this is that when you want to get into leagues, you want to get that fast and fair multiplayer, we're going to be observing using these different algorithms to put people in the correct divisions. If you're just looking for multiplayer, you can go into hoppers, or you can create a private lobby, a custom lobby, and you can bring your friends in, start a party. You can still do 24-car multiplayer and have a great time.
Awesome. One last question. One of the features that I really loved of the latest Forza Motorsports is Drivatars. Drivatars, according to me, changed the game quite a lot. How have they been improved from Forza Horizon 2 and from Forza Motorsport 5?
The Drivatar system is incredibly powerful. And we knew instantly when we brought the Forza Motorsport 5 and Forza Horizon 2 Drivatars into 6 that it was just cool to see them driving like in the rain, right? So they had never been trained in the rain because they had been trained in 5 and Horizon 2. Or at least not been trained with these puddles. They had not been trained with this level of accuracy in the physics. And almost instantly they started avoiding puddles. They started figuring it. Yeah, it's just a smart system. It's really cool. But we heard our fans. Some fans really don't like when their friends are in the race with them and they're a little bit more rough. So we put in a toggle where you can override the professionalism of the Drivatar. And so you can actually still have your friends in the race, same speed, same tendencies, but when that Drivatar is going to go hit you from the side, we basically put the manacles on it and say, don't do that. So you can have it, the normal Drivatar system you're looking for where they drive just like your friends, or you can have a cleaner version. And you can have that at all difficulty settings. So you can have the slow or the fast and really customize it how you like.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for your time, and the game looks awesome. I can't wait to actually play it fully. We're close, so it's just like 1 month, a little more than 1 month.
Yep.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited. Yeah, it's 1 month away, and I think the fans are going to be really, they're going to have a great time.
Well, good luck for lunch then.